Bullet Train is the latest movie to be directed by David Leitch and has just hit cinemas here in the UK. However, I got to check this movie out today as I'm recording this video, but not alone. I actually went along with my great friend Adam from over at What the Gym, and it was so great to meet up with him again. And the link to his channel will be in the description box below, so please go subscribe to him. Such an awesome guy, and we got to experience this movie together. But the question is the movie worth checking out? Is it any good? Well, stick around and find out. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this movie review where David Leitch's brand new movie Bullet Train has just hit cinemas, starring Brad Pitt, Joey King, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Tyree Henry and so many more. And the movie itself is all around the assassin that is Ladybug, who is on a job. And this job, however, is basically to get this briefcase and get off the train, but things get more convoluted than they should. And that's all I'm going to kind of tell you because I don't want to go into spoilers into this movie. And if you're wondering who Ladybug is, that is the nickname for Brad Pitt's character, because all of our actors and actresses in here have code names as such for their characters. For example, Joey King's character is the Prince. Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson is Lemon and Tangerine. Bullet Train, I was very intrigued in this movie. I saw the poster, saw the trailer. Yeah, the trailer, you know, I thought this is just going to be kind of like a fun action kind of movie, and that is exactly what it was, because being honest with you, I walked out of this movie and I actually really enjoyed it. Did I think it was a perfect movie? No. But what I will say in terms of my positives is, if you want blood, guts, violence, gore, high-octane action, then Bullet Train is definitely the movie for you, because non-stop throughout this movie is action scene, one after another. It hits you in the face so many times. The action set pieces in here are absolutely enthralling. There's no shaky cam. The action scenes are as smooth as peanut butter smooth. Yeah, it is that good. It's really high octane energy, action, and I know Brad Pitt did a lot of his own choreography and stunts for this movie, and you can tell it really shows. It's just so smooth and fluid, and the action is, you kind of can't wait for the next action scene to come, because the accompanying music that goes with this movie is also really good in terms of it helps you build up those action scenes, and it's really elevated by that music that's playing. And every single action scene that happened there on in from the get-go, I was like, wow, I cannot wait for another face-off. The acting here overall is solid from all cast members. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, one of my favourite cast members in here was actually the Prince, who is played by Joey King. So I think she is actually a fantastic actress, and it's so great to see that she's getting more spotlight and more recognition, because I generally think that she truly deserves it. So she did a fantastic performance in here. But the story overall was just a fun, entertaining, popcorn kind of movie, and that's exactly what Bullet Train delivered. At times it can certainly get emotional, and at times you can certainly feel that emotion play out through the screen, whether it's relationships with some of our characters or some backstory that we get regarding our full overall story. You can definitely buy into it, because this movie is just bombastic, because it is based on a book also, so I'm not exactly too sure how faithful it is to the book rendition. I've not read it, so I couldn't tell you. But overall, what I will say also is I just kind of switched my mind off. You know, I just took this movie for what it was. I didn't think too much of it, or kind of like the physics of it, or anything like that, where maybe our characters should have died and they don't die, whatever the case should be. I just had a fun time with this movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed it from beginning to end. The colours that are very neon soaked, and the cinematography present, especially with this Japanese setting and the Japanese Bullet Train, is truly sensational. I loved every single moment of it, and especially some of the flashbacks that we get, which are kind of set more towards like the Japanese temples as such. I'm a sucker for anything like that, you know, especially like, say, like a game like Ghost of Tsushima, or my favourite PlayStation game series ever is Yakuza. So kind of having that soaking atmosphere, all of Japan in its essence and forefront of this movie, I was all for it. This movie was honestly just awesome, a lot more violent and grittier than I expected as well, which I loved, don't get me wrong. One thing I've also got to applaud is the train itself. Because the thing is, our characters are on this train for a majority of the movie. There's maybe one or two minor scenes where they're not on this train. So straight away, you know, okay, well, you're going to have this kind of claustrophobia setting where you're stuck on this one moving vehicle. You haven't got many places you could go. You can't exactly just jump off at any time. Yeah, it has stops for sure, but there's a reason why our characters have to stay on the train. And I really like that it's just made use of this train, and also just really kind of helped towards like the atmosphere that was set, the tone, the feel, the vibe of the movie, the pacing. It's all contained onto this bullet train. And yeah, I just honestly had a blast with this movie. If I've got any negatives whatsoever to say here, I am going to say this. There is a story full built around this character called the White Devil. Now, when we get a flashback of this White Devil, they've got this distinct red kind of devil face mask, which is very intimidating, of course, that kind of culture and stuff like that in Japan. It's very interesting. But I kind of found when it reveals who the White Devil is and who plays that character, they didn't have the mask on, and without the mask, they didn't really feel menacing at all. And the thing is, they build up this White Devil character so much throughout the movie. They're constantly talking about this character, constantly talking about the threat that they impose, and you get flashbacks to show that. And I was like, wow, this character is really a force who's going to be reckoned with. And when it actually came to it, I didn't feel that whatsoever, unfortunately, and I think that's kind of one of the biggest letdowns of this movie. I will also say that there is some comedy jokes in there that just doesn't land, and I think some of the comedy, I don't know if it was improvised or it kind of just felt a little bit too forced at times, and I felt like maybe without a couple of those sequences, the movie could have kind of been paced along a little bit better, and I also would have found myself a little bit more kind of laughing at the jokes that was presented. But besides those kind of two big negatives for me, again, just a fun movie. Would I watch it again? Absolutely. Am I in a rush to watch it again? Not so much, but I will certainly check it out later on down the line. So my overall score for Bullet Train is an 8 out of 10. So have you seen Bullet Train? Are you going to be checking it out anytime soon? Leave any and all comments down below. Also, please give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And also, did you know that I have a Patreon? Yeah, that's right. So I've got a Patreon which is only £2 per month. You get exclusive access to early videos, my release schedule, content coming up on the channel, also your say in what videos I do on this channel, and also any competition giveaways that are going to be happening very shortly also on the channel. You will also gain 2 entries over than just the one normal entry. So there's a lot of perks there, and a lot more perks coming very soon. Link is in the description box below if you do want to join the Patreon. But thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this review, and until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.